Betting 360, your number one source for horse racing and sports betting insights. Taking the reins, here's Mark Hayward with another expert interview to give you the winning edge.
G'day punters, Mark here. Welcome back to the Betting 360 podcast, brought to you by championbets.com.au. The fourth episode this week in our look at the big races over in WA, over the carnival over there. So we've looked at the three Group 1 races over the last 3 weeks, and this week it's not a Group 1 race, but it's a new feature race that is worth the same amount of money as the others at $1.5 million, and it's the Gold Rush. So it's a new feature race that Perth Racing and Racing WA have brought in. It's over the 1,400 metres, so 2 weeks after the Group 1 Winterbottom Stakes, so clearly aimed at getting some of those sprinters to stretch out to the 1,400 metres, and it looks like they've pulled together a pretty good field. So once again, we've got Cameron O'Brien on the line. Cameron, of course, former Champion Bets analyst, now a bookmaker at readybet.com.au, somebody who's been following WA racing forever and follows it very closely, does the form and bets a lot over there. So good person to get on to talk about any WA racing. So we'll get into the new race, the Gold Rush, with Cameron shortly. Hope you enjoy the chat. If you do, please remember, just hit subscribe on whatever podcast platform you're on. That way, whenever we drop a new episode, you'll get a notification. All right, let's get Cam on, talk the Gold Rush.
Betting 360. Get more in-depth analysis, tips, and that betting edge by heading over to championbets.com.au. Punting from all angles.
So g'day all. For the fourth straight week, we're looking at the big race over in Perth. So we've got Cameron O'Brien, WA expert from ReadyBet. How you going, Cam?
I'm great, Mark. How you doing?
Yeah, very well, thanks. So yeah, last week we took a look at the Northerly, and it turned out to be another, I guess, a bit of a crowning moment for the filly.
Yeah, she's really good. She's really good. Cascadian loomed, and Cascadian's got a pretty devastating finish. But Amelia's Jewel looked like she might be a bit unlucky. Like she was a bit held up and thinking, oh, gee, things might not go to plan here. Then she got out and she kicked, and she's becoming a really good horse. So I don't know if she's racing again this prep, but I'm really excited to see what she does if she's coming across in the autumn to Victoria and Sydney and that, or if she's spring next year. Obviously, what she's targeting there, because very talented horse, and I think keep her sound, keep her improving. I think she's really exciting, really good future.
Just with her, I guess with her last couple of performances, that ranks her fairly high, I guess, for a 3-year-old filly on your numbers.
Yeah, she's right up there. As I said, in one of our previous podcasts, last week's one, she's a small amount off the top line 3-year-old fillies, but not much. Like within a length or so. So it's now about, you've got to keep improving. Obviously, like what they do as 3-year-old fillies doesn't translate into winning Group 1 races as open age horses unless they keep improving. Like the likes of Winx, like her figures, for example, when she was a 3-year-old filly, were far inferior to what she did as a mare, but they all are. Black Caviar was the same. Going back to Maccabi Diva, her best figures were at the end of her career, even though she was very good early. So they've got to keep improving to become top liners as open age horses. But as far as comparing like for like, apples for apples, her against other 3-year-old fillies, yeah, she's right there with the top liners, not far behind them at all. And so I just love the turn of foot. That's what I always look for. Because a horse can produce a good figure if it's a one pacer, but sort of things fall into its lap, a fast pace, and it comes over the top. And you see that sometimes in a 3-year-old filly in an Oaks or something like that. But she's not like that. She's got a turn of foot, and that's what excites me about her. Horses with a turn of foot mean that they can accelerate away from their rivals, so they can cruise at the pace everybody else is going and then find another gear. That's what separates the good ones from the really good ones. And she's got that.
Yeah, exciting stuff. Can't wait to see her next year. So tomorrow, we're looking at this on Friday. Tomorrow they've basically put in a fourth big feature race, a $1.5 million one, which is called the Gold Rush. It's over 1,400 metres, so 2 weeks after the Winterbottom. So clearly aimed at getting those horses through. You've done the form for this race. Looks like they've gathered a pretty good field.
Yeah, that's right. And there is a bit of that Winterbottom representation backing up, or not backing up 2 weeks later, or backing up 2 weeks later into it. And it is a good field. It's a good race. There should be, as there is in most of these races, the pace should be okay. Massimo is probably the leader, but Comfort Me Drawn Wider can press on, and the Astrologist Red Can Man race up there, and Carlos Karma can as well. So there should be even pace, which, as we've said in all the previews, if you've got an okay pace at Ascot, you can run on. You are advantaged at Ascot if you're nearer the rail and on pace because of the nature of the way the track's shaped. But at the same time, if the pace is okay, you can run on. So I think the pace is okay. I don't think it'll be, they're not going to go breakneck pace, but I think it'll be fair. And so the horse's back can run on and win in this race, which is important for a couple of the key chances we will talk about in a moment, especially my top rater.
So the 1,400 metre start at Ascot, not one we're really familiar with in the big races. Anything in particular to note there, or should play pretty fair?
Well, it's pace related with Ascot. So if it's a small field over this trip, then it's then you can just get them being really advantaged on pace, and it really doesn't sort of help them out. But they come to the first bend pretty quickly. It's out of a little chute around the side, and so they come to the first bend pretty quickly. So if you're caught wide, then you might cover a little bit of extra ground. But then they have that long back or side straight, whatever you want to call it, before they get to that final bend. So they'll sort themselves out there. But it'll probably be they can tend to sort of go reasonably quickly in that early part because of that first bend coming upon them pretty quickly. But having said that, with the pace sort of drawn, the pace hasn't drawn wide. Like the widest one on pace has come for me from 9. So I think they'll find their spots. I don't really think there's many back issues here.
Okay, well, yeah, we'll have a look at your top 4 that you've given me, and very happy to see on top you've got number 1, Special K, Jamie Carr over to ride on Kevin Tari.
Yep, the evergreen, and he's in really good form. He's producing a consistency this prep that has sort of probably not been there as regularly in previous preps. He's racing really well, and his figures are really good. He's run this prep, he's run in the Nature Strip, third in the Nature Strip, beaten less than, the Nature Strip, that's that race they name after the previous year's winner in Sydney. His third in that race last start was really good without much luck, and he's had a bit of a let up since that. He's had 7 weeks off, 6 or 7 weeks off since then. And then he's won a trial recently over in WA, so he looks like he's going well. He's drawn 10, which is drawn 10 after scratchings right now, which is fine for him because he's a back marker. As I said, the pace should be okay, so he can run on. He's already shown that he likes Ascot. He's won here before. He won the Scale Stakes here a couple of years ago, and he rated up to his top that day. That was 1,400 metres, same track and trip. He settled back 10th and got over the top of them to win that day. I think he's just really suited here. As I say, if the pace wasn't on, that wouldn't be great for him, but pace will be good. He's backable. I got him $5 top pick, and he's longer than that. He's about $7 or $8. I think
he's $7.50 at the moment, which is a pretty good price for your top pick.
Yeah, he's a bet. He's going really well. Jamie Carr gives me a great deal of confidence because even if there is issues, she finds a way. And I really like him here.
Nice one. So next in line, you've got the 14, Kiss on All Four Cheeks, which is $4.60 in the market.
Yeah. She's a colt horse, this one. She's a great horse. I love watching her run because she's she gets back, she storms home, she settles midfield, storms home. She's tough. She sits one day. She sat wide and just still won anyway. She's just she's a really good mare. It's 5-year-old mare at the top of her game. She was unlucky in the winter bottom. She settled close enough to last and charged home to just miss Palele, was just a little bit better than her on the line. But she's a great horse. I think, it's clear that 1,400 metres is her trip. 1,200 metres was just a touch short for her there that day in the winter bottom, even though, she only beaten her head, so it wasn't that much short. She went to her best nonetheless in the winter bottom, and so she's flying. Look, I've got her $7 and she's under my price. So she's not a bet, but clearly one of the leading chances, and would not be surprised if she won, of course.
Next in line, you got the 15 Thistle Test Chart, which is $14 in the market at the moment.
Yeah. So we talked about her leading into the winter bottom as well, because she was enormous winning the Colonel Reeves to start before, and then she was a little bit unlucky. She ran third in the winter bottom, so not far behind Kiss on All Four Cheeks and Palele. And then she was a little bit unlucky in the winter bottom, but probably had a chance at the end. But she's racing at the top of her game as a 7-year-old as well. And look, she hasn't done racing at 1,400 metres, so it's some question mark why she's doing that now. But the way she finishes the races off makes it look like it shouldn't be an issue. But the fact that it is as a 7-year-old, her first look at that trip, makes it a little bit of a concern. But look, she's racing in really good form. Her barrier 13 is not ideal, or 14, whatever it is not ideal. But Look, I've got her slotting in, but obviously that's not certain to happen. But I make her about a $7.50 chance in the market, and I think she's a little longer than that, isn't she?
Absolutely, yeah, $14 at the moment. So
yeah. So she's worth a little nibble for sure.
Absolutely, and interesting to see you've just got fourth in line, the favourite, who's been reasonably steady in the market, Valana at $4.20.
Yeah, so favourite in the race and only my fourth pick, and that's kind of why I've got a couple of bets already in Kementari in this little test jar, because I'm not as keen on Valana as the market is. Look, he's flying. At the end of the day, he won the 100 last start, won 114 rating, which is really good. And he was really strong there going to a new level. He'd won the Silver Eagle first up from a spell. So he's in great form. He's had 4 weeks between runs because he was scratched out of the Winterbottom. Of course, we talked about him. Yep. I had him highly rated for the Winterbottom. He was scratched because he had a bit of lameness race morning that day. So small question mark. The other question mark is Barrier 1. He's going to settle probably sort of midfield-ish. And so Barrier 1 might have him a little bit cluttered up. But look, I've got him fourth pick. He's still one of those. Those four are the 4 leading hopes for me, and he is one of the 4 leading hopes for me. But at the price he is, no, I'll be against him, and we'll be pushing him at Ready Bet. We'll be trying to lay him.
Good to hear. So we might just, for those top 4, just run over your rated prices again, just so everyone's got them.
Yeah, Kementari, I'm on top at $5. We're a kiss on all 4 cheeks, and this will test you both equal at $7.30, and then Valana just under $9.
Good stuff. So, Ready Bet, I'm thinking, is very much the place to go for these WA races, and you got some more good things happening tomorrow.
Yeah, we've got some good promotions on. If you come to over the WA Carnival, and we've got another one there tomorrow, if you can come and check that out at Ready Bet. We'll also, if you do like Valana, we'll be betting top price about him, so you can get set with us. And I personally will be backing Kementari and This Will Test Ya.
Good stuff. So some good bets there. So thanks for that, Cam, and also thanks for the last few weeks. So we've had a good look at all the big races over the last few weeks. It's just been fantastic to get that insight from someone who follows WA racing really closely. So thanks for that, Cam, and we'll chat again soon.
Beauty. Yep, beauty, no worries. It's been great. Thanks, Mark.
Cheers.
Get more in-depth analysis, tips, and that betting edge by heading over to championbets.com.au. Punting from all angles.